Congratulations, Mr. Hopkins. You're the first poem to have a negative score on Richard's case. We're not laughing at you, we're laughing near you. I don't mind if the poem has a simple theme. Sometimes the most beautiful poetry can be about simple things, like a cat, or a flower, or rain. You see, poetry can come from anything with the stuff of revelation in it. Just don't let your poems be ordinary. Now, who's next? Mr. Anderson. So you're sitting there in agony. So step up. Let's go chat you this week.
and that's who we are. That's who we are. Yep.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You're currently tuned into TBD on the live stream or on KCSB FM 91.9 in Santa Barbara and netnetradio.com out of Tijuana. I'm joined by my new friends in Lights Strung Like Stars out of West Lafayette, Indiana. How have you guys been? Like, what have you guys been up to this last year? The world has been pretty chaotic the past couple months, especially for those, well, kind of just all around the world, I should say.
For the most part, just adjusting, uh, doing a lot of shit by ourselves in our bedrooms
Yeah.
for the most part. And a lot of cool music too has come out of that. I think for a lot of people too, I think that's a consensus.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I guess the last year people have just been like, holed up, not really focusing on other aspects of life. And I feel like it's been kind of good for music, dude. Like I feel like this online like emo community has kind of like blown up for sure. Like that's like
Yeah.
one community for sure that I've just been like, wow, this is insane. Like if anything good has come out of it, I feel like it's been like this little
Mhm.
online like emo community almost. How about you? How about for you, Colin?
Yeah, I agree with you too. It's pretty much exploded. I mean, I don't know necessarily if Lights Shine Like Stars would be like have as much material out, have as much of a following as it does now. For as terrible and awful as the COVID has been for the worldwide community, the emo community kind of has been thriving off of it with people just confined to their bedrooms, making
Yeah.
emo where honestly it should be made most of the time
Yeah.
in the bedroom, in the bedroom studios.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Blake kind of thrive off that setting. We know
Yeah.
we don't really care about the lo-fi aspect of it, so we were just working away. We pushed out that fall demo and an EP, and now we've been working on some more material. So yeah, it's other than music, which has been great. Work it's been hard to find work.
Oh, for sure.
But I have gotten back into college, so I guess that's a good thing. I think for most people, COVID has presented itself as like a kind of break for like people to figure out like where they are in life and where to go from that. Because when you're confined to your house, maybe you're struggling with bills and whatnot, it's really a clarification moment. You're like, okay, this is what's going on, this is where I'm at, this is where I fit in society and everything. So it's, I think it's a very enlightening moment for everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of in limbo, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I hear that. It's been kind of a good time to figure things out. I hear you on the job thing. It's been pretty hard to find work, and like I was saying before the interview, I graduated last December, which is right before COVID. So that was like when I was looking for jobs and stuff, and then as soon as COVID hit, it was just like bam, nothing. I'm not hearing back from anybody. It's like it was rough, dude.
That's gotta be a pain. Yeah, I lost my job right before COVID, and then after that, I was like found a couple cash jobs. But other than that, like I work at a liquor store now, and I mean I get by. But
Yeah.
it's the working class right now, especially the fresh college graduates like yourself. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what life is like.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I guess should we jump into talking about some Light Strung Like Stars?
Hell yeah.
Let-
Let's hear it.
Let's do it. So, what can you guys tell me about the project, dude? How did you guys meet?
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Blake.
Okay, we actually met pretty unorthodox way for two emo bandmates to meet each other.
Yeah.
We met each other through a fraternity that we were both a part of freshman year of college.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it has its positives, but also a lot of negatives. And we clicked instantly. We were like two of the dudes that just really clicked instantly. And then we ended up dropping this fraternity about a year later.
Okay. Yeah.
Separate things. Colin was working while I was doing school, and what we kind of did was, like, I was self-taught guitar. I don't know chord names. I'm such an amateur with guitar, but I know how to play like twinkly shit.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's tight.
And chords. So that's what I would do. I'd mess with his electric guitar or my acoustic, and we'd kind of just make stuff in our rooms or make stuff at home, and then just like meet up and show each other it.
Yeah. That's cool.
It was never like a group effort, It was sort of like we would do our own thing, and then we'd come together and like show each other, look at this.
Yeah.
Like, look at this made. And yeah.
That's
We
rad,
did that
dude.
for a couple of years, and it was like we didn't have any band names attached to us. We never like even talked about playing together. We were just kind of two dudes that were playing the same area of music. I showed him Brave Little Abacus
Oh,
a
tight.
couple years back, and he was hooked onto it. And that's the band that got me playing emo music. I originally, like Blake, I didn't have any formal guitar training. Like my neighbor back home bought me my first guitar because he wanted me to play metal with him.
Yeah.
And because I was like the only metalhead he knew, some 40-year-old guy, and he was like, "Hey, play metal with me." And I was like, "I've got a guitar." So he was like, "Here's an amp, here's a guitar, start learning it." And so I was just riffing away in my room learning Metallica songs that I had was
So sick.
way technically underwhelmed to like know.
Yeah.
So I eventually got onto like math rock and emo, and I was like, this is really cool. And it's still incredibly complex. I'm never going to learn these songs, but like I can try my best to emulate them in any way a kid could. And so yeah, Brave Little Abacus, I started listening to them, and I was like, wow, these guys are interesting. I'm going to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Joe Blake, me and him like agreed that was the way to go in terms of emo. And
night, it was basically like an acid-fueled cry, like just a cry sesh. Like he told me to put on the Brave Little Abacus, and like at first I was like, what is that? Is that like some sort of, I didn't even know it was a band. And then like eventually, from the beginning of Just Got Back, like it just immediately hit me. Like ever since that, like it just fucking clicked.
That's so sick.
And so I had, once we had some material like actual songs and stuff, I was making some songs under the name of Power Lines. It wasn't even Light Strung Like Stars yet. He started his calendar year thing, and I maybe had a couple songs that I was sitting on. He had put out February End at some point, and I didn't even use the Powerline songs. I just made new songs after that. They're stored away somewhere on my computer. Nobody's seen them. And then come around during COVID time, when I was saying, all right, I should try to get back into college and whatnot, I moved back down into West Lafayette, and we were living together again. We probably hadn't for a year and a half or so. And we went back to the same thing, showing each other some music. It's whatever. And then like one day I was just like, Blake showed me some songs, and we were in his room, like working on them, like doing production and everything. And like, we were just collaborating, talking about what should go where, what you can add, what you can take away. And I was like, dude, why don't we just like make music together? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And
it was so weird. Like, we had just been doing our own thing, and that's how we operated for so long. It was like, wait, why don't we just drop something?
We're both like that though. We're both very like radical DIY. Like I will do literally everything, every single instrument, put it all together, release it, production, all that stuff. So I think that's just what it was in the beginning. And then we were like, well, if we're two stupid radical dudes that are gonna like be doing our everything together or everything on our own, we should at least do it together and see what comes out of it. And that's when we dropped the fall demo. Yeah. Maybe within a week of us declaring that we will work together, the fall demo happened.
It was like one night, dude. It was like
that's
one
crazy.
night we were like, let's drive out in a field somewhere and just scream into the mic. And then we like recorded vocals in one night, dropped it the next day.
That is so sick.
Yeah. And since then, it's been pretty much us doing that. When we're not together, since Blake's currently at his house, we'll email each other stuff, and we'll like, I'll send him stuff, he'll put something on it, he'll send me stuff, I'll put something on it, and we just work like that.
That's actually really cool that you guys are making music like that nowadays, because I have a bunch of like, I guess what's like, what would you call it, experimental or something musicians on my show. They do like ambient, that type of stuff. And that's how they all like do music like collaboratively. It's like, yeah, we just email, we just like put stuff into a Dropbox, like we just do stuff like that. And it's sick because you don't really hear that much from bands. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that's really cool that you guys are doing that. That's sick. It's like the modern. You guys know the band, the Postal Service?
Yeah,
the indie band. Yeah, it's like the modern day version of the Postal Service. Where it's like.
I love it. I love it. It's I definitely respect bands that are able to like play all their stuff live and like go into a studio and do that. And I think we're looking to do that somewhere in the future because we actually, as you saw in that promo pic I sent you, we now have a third member.
I was gonna say, what's up with the third member?
They are our drummer. Their name's Kristen. Yesterday was our first official practice where all three of us were playing together. So
congratulations.
They've been in Lights Strung Like Stars for maybe a week now. So
I'm looking forward to seeing how Kristen will contribute in the future. I think that's gonna be really rad that you guys finally have like a full little band here. And congrats on your first actual band practice, guys. That's sick.
Hey, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
We're hoping to drop some good stuff when this show comes out.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm so stoked. So Blake, tell me about calendar year, dude. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay. Where do I begin? Calendar year started when me and Colin lived in our first apartment at Purdue. It was called Copper Beach. It was like a townhouse. It was 3 levels. Kind of shitty. I mean, it was it was shitty, and it was just a strange place to live, man. Like, it was our first apartment. It was just a lot of shit going on. Like one night after that night, Colin introduced me to the Brave Little Abacus. I eventually got on Rate Your Music, started looking at lists and shit, and started getting more into like the 90s Midwest emo stuff, like Boy's Life and The Promise Ring and Christie Front and Drive, stuff like that. And I was also really into Slint because of Colin,
Oh hell yeah,
um,
classic.
post rock stuff.
Yeah.
So um, I recorded a song in Colin's room with his guitar, which eventually ended up becoming the song "Falling Apart Again," which was
Mhm.
off of the calendar year. It was, I call it an EP, but it was like it was two songs. It was basically a single.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what that song became. That was actually the first calendar year song. But the first calendar year song I dropped on Bandcamp was February End, and that was like a collaboration between me and Colin too. That's why we kind of consider it a light strung like stars song, even though like calendar year. Um, yeah, we both love that song. We love how that one turned out.
Yeah.
Basically, I had just been making songs. I'm somebody who makes a song on my computer, and then I'm like, okay, and then I make a new song, and then I forget about the old song for probably 4 months, and
Yeah.
then it resurfaces somehow. I find it on my hard drive. I'm like,
You're like, oh, this
oh,
is kind of sick. Like, this is
yeah,
kind of
yeah, I
good.
can do something with this. So it eventually got to the point where, like, I had all these songs, and I put them all together, kind of like in a conglomerate, and made them sort of flow together, and that eventually became a life cycle. The EP that dropped January 3rd of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, calendar year in a nutshell is just basically my emotional outlet. Um, my solo bedroom screamo project that sort of took off a little bit, and now it's dead for reasons I won't disclose.
Yeah.
It's just it was time to
Lay it to
call
rest.
it quits for calendar year, so
Yeah.
I'm focusing on Light String Like Stars, what we got going here. So,
It's a period piece, document a specific point
yeah.
in life.
And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, it like didn't even last a whole year. It was like 10 months.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love the idea of having like what do you call it, a period piece where it's kind of just like you're documenting a specific point in your life and you're like, okay, I'm moving on, done with that. You know, that's
Yeah,
kind of sick. That's kind of
exactly.
sick to look back on, you know? Like why
Yeah,
how's the saying go about the dead horse? Like I don't know how it goes, beat a dead horse or something.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
yeah, anyways, that's really
Not
cool,
to,
dude.
like overextend its welcome, you know.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just was, and I'll look back on it with admiration. But yeah,
you
that's that.
you put some tapes out, dude. It's out there. People have it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be one of those things that someone's gonna post on like Sophie's floorboard or something like that in like 10 years, and
God,
people are gonna be like,
don't get me hyped up like that. Like that would be so cool. Oh my god, I cannot
Uh,
imagine my reaction if I saw that on Sophie's floorboard.
oh,
you
if
go
you,
mainstream once you get to Sophie's floorboard
oh,
blog post.
once you're on Sophie's floorboard, that's how you know you've made it.
Yeah,
As an emo band or a screamo band or whatever, you know. Um,
uh,
so
yeah.
I guess like you guys have gotten like a decent following of like Light Strung Like Stars throughout the past like few months. Like how does that feel? Small but strong following, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it's um when I started Lights Shine Like Stars, it was kind of the same ethos of calendar year. Like this is just to document a specific point in time when I'm
Mm-hmm.
old and gray and like I can't remember anything. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna still have my records, still
Yeah.
have my tapes, and I'm gonna look back on them and get like a ping of nostalgia, be like, wow, that actually happened, and this stuff I sang about it actually happened. Like
Yeah.
that was what I was feeling at the time. I never really expected neither of us really expected to get any sort of following. Like we
Mm-hmm.
started a social media and everything, start posting on it because yeah, we want what band doesn't want more people to listen to us. But
Yeah.
like after the fall demo, it kind of just like it if you could call it exploded, I consider it exploded. I'd say more than 10 people listening to our music is exploded.
Oh yeah,
We,
dude.
we
Us
did a,
at that exploded.
we did a little tape run and they like sold out like a 10 tapes and they sold out within like 2 days. It's weird. It's very weird. We're we're not really you're like you said, we have a small but strong following, but even that is like to have people like we've been in having a meme made about you from someone
Yeah.
you barely interacted with is it's surreal. It's very surreal. I don't know if either of us have fully come to terms with it yet. Just yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting, right? It's interesting. I'm not like I don't do, I guess like make music or anything, but like I have like my little radio show page and the real emo only consists of page just like shouted me out on their like page, and I was just like, whoa, dude, that's honestly kind of crazy. Like seeing that, like that's kind of sick, you
You
know?
got a good following though. I feel like you're one of, if I see someone on TBD Presents, I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I love seeing you get the like you've had Your Arms Are My Cocoon, Hey I Love You. You just had but Bastura, I can never
Yeah,
remember them.
yeah, Basura
Yeah,
Ciela.
like you have some crazy you've been doing pretty well in the scene so far. Like I consider you one of the like one of the notables.
Oh
One
wow,
of the
dude.
notables in my book.
That's actually really cool to hear. Thank you. I kind of just like do this because this is like what I've always been doing, and it's like totally different. I guess like the pandemic kind of opened me up to like, being able to have like you guys, and you guys are all the way in Indiana, and I'm in California. Like before, I was mostly just getting like, people from Santa Barbara, Ventura, like Los Angeles. Occasional people that would tour from the other side of the country and be like, "Hey, we need a gig. Can we play on the radio?" It was that type of stuff. And like now it's
Yeah.
like it opened up doors to just have all kinds of people. Like I would have never thought I would have like Basura Ciala on the show or someone from Colombia or something. Um,
COVID has done that. It's really like opened the opportunities for bands that don't necessarily have the financials to go touring across the U.S. and
oh
like
yeah,
be like we can find a way to be on a Santa Barbara radio station and just
yeah.
like the connections that can be made now through the internet from what COVID has shown us is insane.
Oh,
It's
for
insane.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
We've
It's
connected
crazy.
with bands we thought we never would have been able to through the like little through the like fifth wave little social
Yeah,
circle that's been made.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh,
I
it's
love it.
sick. Yeah, it's tight.
It gives people a good platform.
It for sure does. Yeah, it for sure
Also,
does.
that Basura Astiata live set was so fucking hard.
It's dude. Oh my God. I know,
Yesterday
dude. I
at
know.
work, it was so good.
Dude, they're
I
literally.
moshed to it alone in my room. It
Oh,
was
hell
insane.
yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, it would be a dream to have them like come and play live in like California or something like that, dude. I just wish that could happen. Like, I
Let me
want
know
that
when
to
that
happen.
happens. I'll drive out
Yeah,
there.
dude, we're just
Yeah,
gonna
that
have
would give,
everybody come to California just to see Basura
that would
Asiata.
just give us a reason to like drive 33 hours,
Yeah, drive 33 hours. We'll have you guys play a set as well. We'll have you guys on the bill.
Oh, absolutely. To open for those guys would be a dream.
It'd be
Be
so
a dream.
sick. So I guess guys, tell me how it was like growing up in Indiana in terms of like music and I guess just like life in general, and did this like play into like your music at all?
Yeah, yeah. My hometown, it like being we are the Indian. I live in the Indiana side of like Chicagoland. I don't want to piss off any people from Illinois by saying we were Chicagoland because they're very defensive. If I say I'm from Indiana suburbs, you're like, no, you're not Chicagoland. No, you're not. But like we're spillover from people that moved out of Chicago, and
Wait, so
they're
sorry to interrupt. What is Chicagoland exactly? That's like I guess just like urban sprawl from Chicago?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, like Naperville area. There's a bunch. I don't know if I'm not even going to speak on it. It's basically just the suburbs that lie around Chicago.
Okay.
And so I went to a high school with 4,000 kids. Like my
Mm-hmm.
class had 750 in it,
Mm-hmm.
around 700, 800 kids. You'd think there'd be a music scene in that area. There was none. Like I was probably the only person I knew growing up that played guitar and was like looking to start a band. All the other dudes that played guitar or played drums or played whatever, they were on like jazz band and they were tied up with that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd maybe play with them once or twice, but they weren't really set on doing the whole band thing, like rehearsing and maybe playing a venue. So I was basically confined to playing in my room, practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, nobody listened to death metal, nobody listened to emo music, nobody
Yeah.
listened to I got a couple of my friends onto emo. I got some of my friends listening to that Park Jefferson LP.
Oh hell yeah.
And I basically just try to uh spread propaganda, emo propaganda, so I can feel I feel like I was listening to music with other people. But yeah, no, it basically pigeonholed me into making emo music because I'm alone. I got nobody else to make music with.
Yeah.
I'm playing guitar all day by myself. Like that's right for emo EP. And yeah, then I got to college, and first thing I started doing was I started looking for other musicians and whatnot. And Blake was probably the first person I found that did play guitar.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was probably just playing like Stairway to Heaven and like Time of Your Life by Green Day on acoustic guitar, and that's like it.
Dude, you always try to play Nirvana on my guitar, and I wouldn't let you.
Hey, I mean, at least isn't Green Day considered like emo cool? I don't know, dude. Pop punk, somewhat emo adjacent.
Punk. I listen to them a lot. I don't know which Green Day falls under.
Yeah.
I guess
Emo.
punk, pop punk.
Yeah, emo. Green Day's emo. Green Day's an emo band.
They're honorary emo.
Yeah.
They're honorary.
Website?
What was that?
Did you look them up on Is This Band Emo?
Oh, should I look them up real fast?
Yeah.
All right, let me.
So, emo on there?
It's not on that website. It's like we're not in their system.
You guys,
for some reason.
I honestly thought I saw you guys though, or did I see calendar year on there?
Calendar years, but Light Strung Like Star isn't. In that goofy Photoshop picture I posted like last week or so, I actually used that as the little words at the top. I used the Light Strung Like Stars is not in our system from Is This Emo. That's a funny website. That's a funny website.
That website's
calendar
hilarious.
year is on there because like it's literally not a band.
Yeah.
It's me in my room.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I think it's so funny. I saw that and I was like, oh, interesting, you know? I do think it is kind of sick though how that guy is kind of like getting involved in the fifth wave a little bit though, you know, and like adding that stuff to his database. Like that's still kind of sick. Like I see that as kind of a win.
Anything that can spread the good word of emo, I'm all for.
The good word of fifth wave, the holy word, the good book.
Absolutely.
So you guys have had a few releases this year. You guys want to just start with your 5-way split? It has one of my favorite songs of yours. It's A Lot, But What Choice Do I Have? That's probably my favorite song, my favorite Light Strung Like Stars song.
Thank you.
Yeah, that song is so sick, and I show it to all my friends, and they're like, "Dude, this is tight. Who is this?" Anyways, so who are these bands, and how did this split come about? Tell me more about this split.
That's all Blake. Blake set this whole thing up. Tell him about it, Blake.
Yeah, so basically like after the fall demo, I guess, like in October or in November, me and Colin wanted to do a split, like a calendar year Light Strung Like Stars split. Even though I was part of Light Strung Like Stars, like it was really into like all the bands on the split. I had found on Bandcamp and I was super into. Like I found Face Turn on Bandcamp. I heard their demo on Bandcamp and I was like, holy shit, let me find their Instagram and message them right now. Same thing with Slow Burning Daydream. I followed him on Bandcamp and he messaged me like, hey, thanks for following me. And I was like, hey, yeah, no problem. Would you want to do a split with us? And I Get Bullied by the Ghost in My Attic was one of the more obscure ones.
Yeah.
I stumbled across their 3-way split with Mis Sueños Son de Tu Adios. Sorry if I butchered it. And Mississippi Hearts on Bandcamp. And Ghost in My Attic song, like those 3 tracks go so hard. Last summer I was bumping that in the car driving on US 20. Like I would bump that in the car.
Yeah.
And that was actually my dream band that I wanted on the split. Like the other 2 were like, I hope they say yes. But I Get Bullied by the Ghost in My Attic, I was like really trying to sell it up. Like I need you on this split. And
he showed me them and I was like, who is this? Like he showed me it like a couple months before they were even on the split, before we even agreed to it. And he was raving about them. I was like, damn, these guys, like, I think it's one person as well.
Yeah, it's a solo project.
He goes crazy hard. And just that, then like a little bit later, Blake's like, yo, I Get Bullied by the Ghost in My Attic is playing with us. I'm like, it's just one of those things you're
Mind
like,
blown.
wow.
Yeah.
We're in a band and we're playing with people that we like would kill, like crowd kill people at a show.
Yeah. That's so rad, dude. So what were you saying? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It was like, yeah, just eventually we like agreed on it, and it was gonna be. I didn't know if it was gonna be a 4-way, 5-way, 6-way. I
Mhm.
was like hitting up different bands. I'm pretty sure I hit up Your Arms in My Cocoon and definitely didn't was left on like not even read because at that it blown up past the
Oh
point of
yeah,
even like
dude. Yeah.
Instagram DMs. But yeah, it eventually ended up being a 5-way split, and it was a little hard to coordinate. Like I'll
Mhm.
admit that because we got people from Indiana, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and Scotland.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, it was
wild.
hard to coordinate, but it eventually came to fruition, and we never really had a release date. We just kind of um until the end of January, we were like, okay, let's drop this in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And then Colin designed some cover art, and there's actually some alternate cover art that's
You
not the cover
you guys should
that
post
I
it.
love. But the other
Oh,
one that
you
Colin
say
did, the split cover, which I think is cool too. But there's an alternate cover that I like even more.
And actually, it's funny that you say that we should release it because I'm pretty sure Paper Wings is going to be doing a cassette and CD release with both variations of the art on each
Oh
format.
wow, dude,
So
that is so rad. You already know I'm gonna
yeah,
cop that for
stay
sure.
tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. That should be in the near future, I believe. But I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see that on cassette. Like Paper Wings was like, how has this not been released yet? And I was like, uh, I don't know. We just
Yeah,
nobody hit us up to release it, so
yeah.
it'll be cool to see that come out. We're excited for it. Yeah, it was just I think it was something that we dropped and we were all really happy about. I think we were all pretty proud of the work that we put in. Me and Blake each contributed like a song that we were the basis of on the Lights
Mhm.
Strung Like Stars side, and I think both those are awesome. Calendar Year's material is awesome. Um, I get bullied
I
by
will
the ghost.
say, I will say that calendar year material just, man, I don't know what I was going for. Like I'm satisfied with it, but it's like the most off the wall calendar year music we made. It's just
That's rad though.
it's absolutely insane, and like the sound quality is terrible, but it's like I don't know. I was just bonkers at
Challenge
that
your
point.
vibe, bro. I get bullied in the
Go
boat. Ghost
on.
in my attic stuff so hard. Face Turns probably got my favorite songs on the entire split. That's probably my favorite part about me about doing that split is meeting Face Turn. I cannot like recommend Carlos and his material enough.
Yeah.
I wish that dude had a full band so he could release his EP finally because I need to buy it.
Love you,
And then
Carlos.
Slow Burning
Shout
Love
out
for
Carlos.
Carlos. And then Slow Burning Daydream had a great song at the end too. We were all really proud of it. Yeah, it was something that we dropped and we were all just super excited about.
Yeah, dude, I thought that that was so amazing. The split, and that's how I actually found you guys. I think like
Really?
Home is Where shared the split or something, and I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
Brandon did share it. He
yeah,
was like, he posted on his story. He was like, I'm super stoked for this. I was like, oh shit, Brandon put it on his story.
yeah,
This is
dude.
sweet.
I think that's how I found it, and I think it was like right before I was recording a show. So I was like, I'm always on the hunt. Like when I'm recording a show, I'm always on the hunt for new bands, and like I found this split, and I was like, dude, this is overwhelming me because I want to play the whole thing on the show, but like, and yeah, it's rad, and I think you guys did a really good job organizing it. It came out sick.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Home is Where too. They've done a phenomenal job at like kind of rallying in the fifth wave scene and just making a good online community.
Oh yeah.
Really knit community to share and boost obscure artists that need more love and emo.
Home is where
And,
blew the hell up and became the face of the fifth wave for sure.
and I couldn't pick a better band to do
Yeah.
it, a more vocal band for like great things in this community.
Dude, it's in
Yeah.
Endless
I
love.
did something that sounds like Home is Where. Like you can't.
no, you
It's
literally
so
can't.
they're so unique. I love that band. I've loved that band since 2019. Like I simp over that band all the time.
Oh yeah, dude, they're so good. I remember listening to them back then too, and they're on Instagram and what's it called? Like nobody followed them or anything. I was just like, why is this band not bigger? And like now like everybody talks about it's I just think it's insane how much like they got a Pitchfork review. Like that's insane.
Oh yeah,
Like
and they,
Yeah, it's like Ian Cohen reviewed him. I was like, what? I'm watching this band go mainstream like right before
I know.
yeah, Blake was riding with them forever. He showed me their first EP, and I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. He always listened to them more than I did. I was they're a band that I was like, awesome. I'm gonna keep tabs on them, but there wasn't really something that I realized was gonna be get the attention it's gotten today. It's just like, whoa.
It's crazy.
They deserve it. They deserve all of it.
For sure.
They deserve all of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, little side note, I met Ian Cohen at a it was a show with Origami Angel, Glass Beach, and Short Fictions, and then a couple locals. Yeah, and Ian Cohen was there, and my friend was texting me like, yo, Ian Cohen just tweeted that he's gonna be at the show you're at, like, and my friend loves blogs, like he loves like the old blogs or whatever, you know? And he was like, dude, can you get a station ID from Ian Cohen? And I was like, you want me to just walk up to this motherfucker and just ask him to say KCSB? And I was like, okay, dude, I'll do it. And I just walk up to him and I'm just like, hey, you're Ian Cohen. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yo, I'm like, do a show at this like one radio show. Do you think you can like, you know, say our call letters or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, I used to have a radio show too back in the day, of course. And I was like, hell yeah, Ian. And then me and my friend got this awkward ass picture with Ian. It was so funny.
He is so with it. I respect it. That I can see myself being an Ian Cohen. I don't know if it's the same like fame as him, but I'm that like I could definitely see myself becoming just like a dude that's been with the community forever and is still like it's real as fuck with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Respect.
Yeah, it's honestly sick. Yeah, anyways, Ian Cohen is tight. But I guess back to your music and stuff. So it gave way to more than you can imagine. That's your EP, right?
That's what I'm calling.
Yeah.
You talk, Colin.
Okay, so one of my favorite songs, you know, was this I have a question about it. Was the Unremarkable Day spent at a Wisconsin Dells water park?
Yeah. I honestly I can't even remember the full name for it. Those songs, I was going for the song titles like reminiscent of some obnoxiously long like Empire type song titles. That was a personal project when all my roommates left, including Blake, for winter vacation at the end of fall semester 2020. And I was pretty much by myself in this house I'm currently in this apartment I'm currently in. Yeah. And I was like, you know, I have the house to myself. I can play music without disturbing anybody while they're doing classes. I got a month before I myself am in classes, and I don't know how much music I'll be actually able to work on. Let's work on an EP. Let's just bump out an EP. And yeah, I basically spent that entire month doing various psychedelics and just like trying to expand my sound. Because the fall demo is I will forever be in my heart. But I wanted to make something weirder than that, more expansive on the sound than that. Even though we have some weird stuff, we have some odd samples and weird outro, like synth outros, ambient outros, everything like that. I wanted to see to what point I could stretch emo with it still being emo. And so that first song, that Unremarkable Day is third song. That song, I get a lot of people saying that might be the best song on the. Oh, I love that song. And it's hard for me to choose a favorite song on there, but I will agree that that's like the highlight of the. Even my uncle, that's like a huge Bob Dylan fan. Like that's he only listens like folk and like Bob Dylan and stuff. And he's like, yo, that song was actually like really good. I liked it. That's awesome. Dope. It's that one was fun to make. That one was really fun to make. I think that was probably the most technically, like song structure wise, one of the better songs I've made so far for like Strung Like Stars. It just has a lot of different movements and build-ups and I'm very proud of that song. There's some other songs I listen to now and I'm like, you can tell they're rushed and whatnot, but
One
I
of
did put a lot of time into that one.
one of my other favorites, A Christmas Gift for Laurel. That one's really cool too. It's like cyberpunk, like Machine Girl, but emo. Like
That one's fucking
cyber
crazy.
emo or
I like that
something.
one too.
Yeah.
That's one of the songs that I look back on and I'm like, I wish I put more time into that. But the instrument, that was actually the first song that I wrote for the EP that
Oh, really?
inspired pretty much the rest of the EP. The idea for that was for some reason I was listening to a lot of glitch pop and just glitch music.
Yeah.
I was like, who's done glitch and emo together? And that was, and Machine Girl too. I was actually listening to some Machine Girl at that point. So I think
yeah.
I really appreciate that you say that.
Yeah.
That song is fun. That song's very, very odd. But I love the glitch parts on it. That the only thing I could have done reworked vocals a little bit more in the beginning. But that was definitely one of the rushed songs in terms of vocals. The instrumental part though, I am proud of. I am happy with.
I think that the whole thing still turned out really, really well though. As an artist, I feel like I guess like whenever I do art or something like that, I always judge my stuff super harshly, but then people will be telling me it's good and I'm like, nah. But like I do think that your EP came out really good despite you saying that like, it seemed rushed. I don't think anybody else could tell.
I think that it's the artist bias. Like I'm never gonna listen to something and completely be satisfied with it. But I guess that's what good for artists to improve their sound and like progress. Like if I was just perfectly fine with it, I don't think I'd ever go. I just try to recreate that, and I'm not trying to do that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, when I realize I'm being too hard on myself, it is something that I'll still put on and be like, this is I enjoy this release.
That's awesome.
That was definitely a fun one to do. Very, very much a fun one to do.
Yeah. So I was also gonna ask too, because we kind of talked. You guys mentioned that you like to go into fields and just scream and record vocals. Can I talk to you guys a little bit about your recording process? Like, can you tell me more about that?
For vocals, we literally go into my car. We go on my awful laptop and open up our songs in Audacity and hook up a SM57, put it like somewhere in the car that's not gonna make it clip too much, and that's where we scream. We hang
it from the rear view mirror like it's a studio or something, and then scream in the back of the car.
Dude, I think that is the sickest, most emo thing I've ever heard. You guys going into a car, recording this shit onto Audacity. That's fucking tight, dude. That is DIY as hell.
This is burn through my computer's battery in like 10 minutes.
Oh, dude.
So I'll be sitting in my car doing a screamo. Like I just threw vocals on a new song that's going on an EP that's coming out soon. And I was literally in a dirt like lot behind a semi truck in the middle of a forest, just like screaming into my car. And you have to sit there and then like, because there's a latency between on Audacity whenever you're recording vocals. So if I'm gonna like listen to it and see if it's on point, I have to figure out on my computer in the car, like take out the latency and then like line it up and say, okay, it's on time, I can go forward. It's such a process, but I'm happy with it. It's funny to look at it and be like, yeah, this is how I do screams.
Honestly,
I can't just scream when I have neighbors around me and stuff. I'm gonna get the cops called on me. So yeah, if we've played in middle of a cornfield, middle of the night. We play in empty parking lots. We found this one dirt road that I think is used for cross-country games with like porta potties by it in the middle of the forest.
Games, bro. Come on now.
Wait, what?
Cross-country games. Come on now.
Cross-country runs.
I'm an ex-cross-country runner.
I'm a big sports guy, as you can tell. I play some of the demo songs. I think Ray Ayanami, I recorded behind a Dollar General. Just you find the craziest places when you're looking somewhere that you can scream. just goofy places.
That is honestly so sick, dude. I actually really love that and think that this is one of those things that it's gonna have to go on the Sophie's floorboard entry when you guys get on there. You know, they're gonna be like, word on the street is they used to record their vocals behind a Dollar General inside their car with their SM57 hanging from the rearview mirror. You know, dude, that could literally be a song title. Recording screamo vocals in my car with an SM57 hanging from the rear view. Like
We're
that could
stealing
literally be a
that.
title. Like
We'll give you credit, but we're stealing that.
please, dude, that is so tight.
And it's like one of those things. It's one of the aspects of Light Strung Like Stars that we're gonna look back on and be like, that's crazy. That's so like it's just gonna be one of those things that gives a character.
Oh, for
Like makes
sure.
it feel real. Because I don't know if I'll in future projects and whatnot if I'm ever able to get studio time. Like I don't know if I'd ever go back and then keep screaming in my car. It'll definitely be something that goes with the Lights Shine Like Stars vibe.
Yeah.
And whole like thing with it.
Oh, for sure. I think that that's just so rad and totally adds to your guys' aesthetic. It's just sick. Another thing I wanted to ask too, how do you guys go about choosing your sound bites? I guess just
The
like
samples and stuff.
yeah, like the samples, like the video game samples or whatever.
I'm a huge weeb. I watch a lot of anime.
Yeah.
And this actually is one of the things that I've probably stolen the most from Brave Little Abacus. Like Mass Dancers, Adam puts Akira vocal or samples on some of the two interludes between songs.
Uh-huh.
And I love that. I love that. I think anime is it's one of those things that has a certain aesthetic to it. And so I use those a lot. Video game samples, I think we do Mario 64 on some of the demo songs and I think another one, but I can't remember which one.
I've used it from like I think from Dig Dug, like the old arcade game Dig Dug.
Yeah.
I used a sample from that game in one song.
That's
The
sick.
retro-y sounds are pretty fun to use.
How do you guys know which one to put in? And do you just like listen to it and you're like, that'd sound perfect in this song?
Sometimes, usually, I will have the song written and know what I want it to be about, and then I'll find a sample that kind of goes along
with the vibe,
that, matches the what the song is trying to present, and like convey. So I'll usually just look up on YouTube like certain thing sad moments. It like the most basic type of YouTube search, and I'll just go through like clips and clips and clips, and then I'll find one that sounds good and like is kind of with the theme, and I'll be like, all right, that sounds pretty cool, I'll throw that in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like to use some my favorite movies. I like to sample like Peach Leaf Drive. I sample Eternal Sunshine and Spotless Mind or some whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Pictures of June use the exact same sample too. If you know the band Pictures of June from Bloomington.
Oh really?
Yeah, they use the exact same sample.
Dude, that's so
tight. They did use the exact same sample, and the funny thing is, we like Lights Shine Like Stars. That was the first single that I dropped was Peach Leaf Drive. That was dropped like 2 months before Pictures of June, but I will never say they like copied us or anything because I had 5 listeners on Bandcamp and they were like already known. So it's not like they went to Lights Shine Like Stars and were one of the 5 listeners and say, oh, we're gonna rip this dude's sample. I just find it hilarious because we go to like rival schools. Like they're at IU and they're like 2-3 hours away from us. So I just think it's hilarious that 2 screamo bands in the same state, different, like same rivalry college are like using the same sample for their songs. We both love Dead Poet Society, so that's where the It's a Lot But What Choice I Have sample comes from. I love that movie so much. I think that
It's a
I think
classic.
the sample on there is probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. So
Mhm.
that's why I use that. Um, yeah, we try to tie the samples into just what's going on in this, what's the purpose of the song is itself. I don't like samples being in there just for the sake of
Yeah, just
being
for the sake of
samples.
being a sample. That's awesome though. I love that there's a purpose. I think that all of your guys' samples sound really good in your music, so I just wanted to ask how you choose them. Um, so what can you tell me about Paper Wings Records, and do you guys have anything set for the future with them?
That's honestly on myself. I don't really know. They just asked if our it gave way to more than you could imagine. I can't even say the titles of my music myself. Um, they were like, has anybody released this yet? Because I'm the main owner on the Instagram account. Blake has ownership to it, but he doesn't post on it as much as I do. And
Mhm.
so they hit me up on there, and I was like, no, nobody's released it yet. And they were saying, would you want to do like a 50 cassette run or whatnot? And we'd be like, sure, sure. So
Yeah,
we've been working with them for a little bit now. They're great. They're awesome. Paper Wings releases some great bands, some great material. It's not just pertaining to emo either. Like they release some metalcore and deathcore and some
oh, that's
like
sick.
really some real stuff that I appreciate. That since I'm like not only an emo head, I love like other types of music,
Mhm.
especially in the metal community. So it's cool to see a label be putting out emo and like some heavier stuff. So they did the cassettes. They also did a short run of the T-shirts, which um, I'm super excited about, and I'm hoping they do more of because you got shipped out of a T-shirt, and I'm
I
sorry
know.
about
No, it's okay, dude. It happens. I just saw that you guys post that, and I was like, dude, these shirts are sick. Like, I want one, and
Oh,
I
I'm
just
so
figured I'd
excited.
ask.
I bought a couple for my friends and family, and I
Yeah,
I want them to come in so bad. I want to like be dripped down in lights from like stars
yeah,
merch.
right.
Um, and they are planning on doing the split release. Uh, I've talked to them about possibly doing vinyl in the future, and they have the ability to. So that's just
There's the option.
if that's yeah, that's a definite option. Me and Blake, that's when we know like we've reached Sophie's floorboard is when you've made it, but having that's a personal we've made it. When we
Oh
have our
yeah,
own record,
yeah,
it's like
A record. Like
wow,
if you can physically hold it, it's a record. Like
yeah.
that's level.
Yeah,
because
that would be rad as hell. I honestly can't even imagine what the feeling would be like to just be like, this is shit that I made, that I poured emotion and stuff into, just like sealed on this like piece of plastic. Like it's just
it's
tight.
crazy. I mean, I'm all for tapes. And tapes are huge in this scene. But I've always been more of a record player or like a record guy
Yeah,
between the three formats.
I see.
The records have just always had that feel to them.
Yeah, I buy like a lot of tapes just because they're like cheaper, but when something's real good, then I buy like buy it on vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exact. No, you stated it perfectly. You stated it perfectly. But yeah, with Paper Wings, we're just vibing, I guess. I support all the artists on there. They support me. It's just kind of like a little community. I don't know anything about the music industry, so I don't know if we're like signed or whatnot. I don't know what any of that lingo refers to. I just know we work with them. They sell our stuff and get the word out for them. So I like them. I support Paper Wings.
That's rad, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
So this is another question I have that I just have to ask all the emo bands. So what's the future of fifth wave to you guys?
The future of fifth wave.
The future of the fifth wave of emo.
Oh boy. Um. Okay. I'm gonna start off with the negative. I hate to say this. I've seen. I don't want to say. I feel like there's the same sort of ethos as third wave emo. I feel like there will sort of be kind of a blow up of just emo, like third wave, like mall emo or like hot topic type shit that people
Yeah.
refer to. That people, yeah, they consider third wave emo. I sort of have a bad feeling that that might happen with fifth wave, but I really hope not because all the shit that I've seen so far in fifth wave has been nothing but
Nothing but bangers.
yeah. I'm just like everyone is so super excited about this
Oh
and
yeah.
sounds that we're hearing in 2020 and 2021 have been like nothing else. I totally expect Fifth Wave to go in a more experimental direction, incorporate as many genres as you can imagine. I mean, there's already been fusions of emo with like
I'm just trying to see more lobster fight shit. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, stuff in that realm where they're just like mixing like
Lobster
piano
Fight,
and shit.
Glass Beach type vibe.
Yeah,
Like what people refer to as post emo, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate that.
Honestly,
I'm just gonna. I hate that term, but art, art emo, art scrams. I like that better.
Artsgrams, that's honestly
I don't
sick.
think, yeah, I don't think there's any post emo. I don't think emo's ever dying. There's still always going to be upset, sad, depressed teenage children. So emo will always need to find relevancy somehow. But I guess there's a rock and there's a post rock. So I don't know who am I to say. I think I'm a wave absolute nerd. I like to go into like what's what wave and stuff, even though it's all totally arbitrary. Like it's all emo, it's all like it really doesn't need to have this rigid structuring of determining what's fourth wave versus what's fifth wave versus
Yeah.
what's proto fifth wave and whatnot. But just for my own personal, like giving myself something to do, I love to classify and judge all of that, and talk to other people who do. I don't think it's really a meaningful term if you don't want it to be a meaningful term.
Yeah.
That's absolutely a prerogative. But
Mhm.
I honestly, I think a lot of people confuse fifth wave with any band that's currently like active. I think fifth wave is more of a sound designation
Mhm.
than say like a active scene. Because I still think like there's a lot of fourth wave and revival bands that are still out
Still
and they're
active,
still
yeah.
making a lot of good music. And that I also don't think fifth wave means that for bands that who more align with the fourth wave sound are inferior.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like drama over this term, and it's kind of it's like why we're just talking about genres, we're just trying to have a good time, and
Yeah.
people are like taking it seriously like we're in designated regiments and like social
Yeah.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
That's not it. But I think fifth wave will, if we're looking back in 10 years, fifth wave will be all the music that basically is like fourth wave but does something
Different.
does something like Blake said, incorporates new genres, incorporates new sounds. Basically what Brave Little Abacus did 10 years ago. And I hate that I keep name dropping them because I'm a total simp for them. I love that band like to the grave.
Yeah.
They are, anything that they did and a band is currently trying to do now I would consider that to be fifth wave. I don't just
Mhm.
think having great riffs and great screams and like being a great band altogether necessarily means you're fifth wave if you're releasing music today. So I'd like to see what the future holds in terms of just the experimental side. Because
Yeah.
I love experimental music just in general. I love seeing what people do with a genre and then twist it to make it very like abstractly tie into that genre.
Mhm.
I think I'm very, very excited to see what kids do with the sounds of current emo and how they can blend them.
Yeah.
I want to see more 100 gex in emo.
Honestly, that's what I was just about to say, dude. I'm trying to see more some cyber emo, like a Christmas gift for Laurel.
Oh yeah.
That's fifth
I
wave right there.
love that.
That's peak fifth wave.
I honestly, what were you saying?
Oh, I just said that's peak fifth. My
If
bad.
you
Sorry.
want to see more cyber emo, sorry, I keep interrupting you. But yeah, definitely listen to the next Strung Like Stars EP if you want to hear more of that. I'm not gonna give anything away though.
Oh, dude, I'm already hyped for it. So that just made me more hyped. That's honestly so sick. I'm ready, dude. Um,
We're excited to drop that. We feel really good on all this material we're dropping. It kind of does some of the things it did, but I think it expands on them and almost goes away from them in certain. It's wait and see. It's a wait and see.
that's awesome. So, real quick before we get into some fan questions, do you guys have a release date or like an approximate date for your new stuff?
No official dates. We were actually planning on dropping it like 2, 3 days ago, like when we first said we're gonna put an EP together. But that was my decision, and I always am too idealistic about how we're gonna make music. I don't realize like when you get into it, it takes a lot longer than it
Yeah.
does. It'll probably be best case scenario sometime mid to early June.
Yeah, I would say in the next month for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Definitely within the next month. We still got to get it mixed and mastered because that we're gonna see what a mix and mastered because before on any other Lights from like Stars song, it was either me mixing it or just leaving it, and we've never really done a master. Like very basic production heads over here. So I actually think Brody from Khaki Cuffs is gonna help us mix it.
Oh wow, that's great.
Send us to get it mastered somewhere. So I'm really excited about that. Have someone in the community that's actually gonna like maybe that probably knows a little bit more about mixing than I do. Mess with it. So I'm excited to see what that brings.
Yeah, that's awesome. And they understand the sound and everything too. That's great.
Exactly. I've been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I'm all here for it. Yeah, we are probably as like anxious to get this thing out as you are. I want to see what this thing looks like on Spotify. So
hell yeah. So I guess should we get into some fan questions, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just checked and let me see. I think we got one more. So all right, I guess we'll start with this one. This one is from CH Point. Do you guys know that artist?
Yes.
Cuckold Point?
Yes, I love him.
Yeah.
I love Summer 2000.
Yeah, dude.
He actually snagged one of the only 5 calendar year self-titled alternate cover tapes. He was like one of the first people to grab one.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've messaged a lot. He's a super cool dude. I'm really excited to see more music from him.
Oh yeah, I just bought.
Big love for that dude.
Oh, for sure. I just bought his Animal Crossing tape. That he put one out like last week for like the last Bandcamp day, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get this. This is sick. Anyways, he said or asked what are your musical backgrounds? I guess we already kind of talked about this, but if you want to talk about it again.
Yeah. I grew up all through high school being the fattest metalhead. Right now I got on a Death t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
I got a Bolt Thrower shirt on my wall. I got band posters from crazy death metal band. I was a huge metalhead in high school. In college, I like experimented more with indie rock and emo and math rock. My 3 biggest genres are definitely death metal, math rock, and like emo, screamo. Also, I was a huge Summer 16 trap wave guy. Loved Lil Uzi, loved Lil Yachty, all the stuff that came out with that wave. Playboi Carti's Die Lit is probably one of the greatest albums of all time. I think that thing will be remembered forever. So yeah, those are my music. It's a pretty wild variance, but yeah. Also, anything that you talk about and people say, oh, what do you browse music on 4chan? All that pretentious shit. I'm so horny for.
What about you, Blake?
I'd probably say, okay, I grew up on classic rock, having conservative parents. Aerosmith, Def Leppard, Boston, Kansas, The Works, classic rock.
That. Dad rock, dude. Dad rock.
Dad rock, literally. It wasn't until probably high school that I actually got into something unique other than classic rock. I was a huge Colin was like a Summer 16, like Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty vibe.
Yeah.
I was more of like the Lil Peep, Lil Tracy vibe. Like I was into the really emo rap shit.
Yeah.
For like a couple years, I was really into that. Like
he used to make like emo trap beats like before he started like focusing on guitar and emo, and they're actually pretty good. He'll always underplay them, but I think like he would make a beat and then show us, and I was like, I fuck with that.
That's
He was a
honestly
genius with the
sick, dude.
beat
That's
stuff.
honestly sick. I feel like there's still.
Solid.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No,
there
you're
there's still a market for that, dude. Like the stuff
Yeah,
that like Solidarity Club is doing, like Cheem, all that stuff.
yeah. I could never bring myself to like rap over it. Like I love making shit with GarageBand, but like every time I tried to rap over it, it was so cringe. I had to delete it. But
I'm
I'd say
still
after high school, after it, like I was into emo rap. I still like that stuff, but it's like not the same anymore after Lil Peep passed
Yeah,
away. Rip.
repeat.
yeah, Rip
Echo
Deep.
2K's album, newest album, Pixie's really good.
Who is it?
Echo 2K.
I'll have to check
Oh
that out.
yeah.
There's still some stuff like Blade and whatever those Swiss guys are working on.
Yeah.
Drain,
The what?
Drain Gang.
Yeah, Drain Gang. I'm Drain Gang forever.
Yeah, but I was into grunge for like a period. Colin's the one that got me into emo. Um, he got me into the Brave Little Abacus, and that just clicked because of everything going on in my life at the time. It just worked with where I was.
Yeah.
After that I got into Newfound Interest in Connecticut.
Oh hell yeah, classic.
Yeah. Uh, um, Empire, stuff like that. Castavet
Uh-huh.
from Michigan. And then I've ever since then I've been kind of into shoegaze. I love Sulaki. That's probably one of my favorite top 10 records ever.
Another classic, dude. No, another classic.
I love that record, and I love emo with shoegaze in it, like emo gaze. I'm totally for that.
You've heard
Anybody who
the
wants emo gaze, go for it. I'm all for it.
Have you heard the Asian Glow tape?
Yes,
Yeah, that's very good. That's like
it is very good.
straight up
It's
emo gaze. That shit's sick.
Oh my god, that is such an interesting listen, and it's like over an hour.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Um,
You can find a lot of hour-long emo LPs these days.
Oh, you really
All
can.
for that.
Yeah.
and like the area I'm from, the Michiana area. I'm from Goshen, Indiana. Um, the bands from this area that are like literally renowned today, like they're just so over. You see them everywhere, basically on social media,
Uh-huh.
on blogs, on like Rate Your Music, like the Jack Sneff trio, as people call it, like Merchant Ships, Midwest Pen Pals, and William Bonney.
Yeah.
You guys are all from South Bend, which is like 20 minutes from me.
Yeah, that's so sick.
People
That's
like
tight.
be from that area and think like, wow, there was actually a scene here when I was in middle school, and I didn't even know it.
That was
No.
actually oh sorry. That I was gonna say this is actually the next question the next fan question. You can finish talking about what you were saying, but someone asked, what are your top favorite Indiana emo bands?
Oh boy. Okay, I'll name a handful here. My top favorite Indiana emo bands. In no particular order either. I can't rank these.
Yeah.
You get into a fight if me and Blake would start getting into a fight.
Yeah, we got differing opinions about Indiana emo. There's some good stuff from Indiana.
Yeah.
Inside Jokes EP, that Midwest Pen Pals EP, that thing just hits different.
Oh yeah.
I've listened to that at least hundreds of times. William Bonney, amazing. Merchant Ships, fucking killer. Park Jefferson is great too. That's some more like sad boy stuff. I love Park Jefferson though.
I didn't know Park Jefferson was from Indiana, to be honest.
I think that it might be split. Like Merchant Ships, I know. I listened to the Jack Sneff interview from I Might Go to the Beach. It's like this podcast. I found it on YouTube. Colin showed me it. But it was basically like two dudes from South Bend and two dudes from Sturgis, Michigan, which is like right over the border. I'm about 5 or 10 minutes from the Michigan border.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a Michiana thing. I think they're like Indiana emo bands, but still, I don't want to like.
As Indiana residents, we claim them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's sick.
They're ours.
Hell yeah.
I know Pictures of June, another
Yeah.
wonderful Indiana band. I think Ersap Synapse is from Indiana too, and they are a crazy old screamo band. trying to think of other
What was
Indiana
that? What
bands.
was the screamo band's name again?
I think it's like Ursap Synapse or
Ursif
something.
Synapse. That's sick. I'll have
Uh,
to check them out. That sounds rad.
they got an album that has a like heart monitor thing on it.
Oh, really?
Very 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 good band. Uh, Other than that, I
Another cool screamo band from Indiana is Marital Rolls.
Marital
They're from
Rolls.
they're from Indy, like pretty short lived from what I can tell. But check out Marital Rolls if you like just some really lo-fi screamo. It's really good.
That sounds rad.
also Como Regalia. They're
Como
from
Regalia.
they're actually from West Lafayette, just like we are.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, the guy behind it is in charge of Middleman Records, and he still operates out of West Lafayette.
Oh, wow,
Decker.
dude. I didn't know that.
Sean
That's
Decker.
sick.
Shout out to Sean Decker because they do more than anyone. Like I listened to your podcast, Sean Decker. You're awesome. I bought 7 inches from you off Middleman Records. Like you're fucking awesome.
We actually, when we first dropped the fall demo, I think we hit up Middleman, but they're too big for to listen to like a band with like 5 followers. So I don't think we got a message back. But that it'd be awesome to be working with them.
Oh, that would be rad
Yeah,
as hell.
Sean Decker's a king. Como Regalia is crazy awesome. Has done a lot to boost the screamo side of this scene
Yeah.
and the hardcore side of this scene. I love their stuff.
I have 2 more Indiana bands. My Head in Clouds. If you're into like Midwest pen pals, if you're into merchant ships, check out My Head in Clouds. They have like maybe 2 songs on Bandcamp. They have a MySpace.
Oh, hell yeah. That's how you know they're tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you're into like 90s Midwest emo, sort of like post-hardcore tinged emo, you could check out Split Lip, also known as
Oh,
Chamberlain.
that
They
sounds
changed
tight.
their name. They're from Carmel, Indiana, like an indie suburb. They're also pretty cool. So those are the bands I could think of.
That's rad. We'll have to get a playlist from you of just Indiana bands to check out. That's so tight.
Absolutely.
Um,
Indiana's got a very good screamo emo history. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense for the Midwest.
yeah, the Midwest.
You don't know Indiana for much other than like racism and just being a terrible state. But we have screamo and emo to our name.
Hell yeah, that's tight, dude. I feel like Santa Barbara doesn't really have much going for it, but back in the day, or actually still today, Abolition is from Santa Barbara.
Oh,
Which is
really?
pretty sick. Yeah, like Orchid, like all those bands. So like Still Life and stuff. That's like all. Still Life is actually from the town right over from Simi Valley in Moore Park.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I actually just bought the Orchid Pig Destroyer split off Discogs, the 7-inch.
Oh, that's
I'm
tight.
so excited. I am a huge Orchid fan.
You're gonna be like waiting by the door, just looking outside to see the delivery truck roll up.
Eventually I'm getting that $150 Skull Orchid and Jerome's Dream split when I get a fat paycheck.
Oh, dude, that would be rad, dude. That's sick.
Seems like someone appreciates that. So someone can justify spending a stupid amount of money on something like that. That's some history right there.
It is, dude. It literally is history. I think all that shit is so rad. Just finding stuff like that, like whether it's on Discogs or in like a local record store, I think it's rad because it's history, you know? And like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about Abolition is just because it was like local, and that just made it that much more special that it was like local. And just like looking through like all their releases, like their cover art were big ass zines, like 12-inch zines. And so you could just like
Really?
read through it. Yeah. And it's just like, oh dude, this is what was going on at the time. Like I
That's
found
so
this like
cool.
old like comp from, an Abolition comp. It was like one of their first comps I think they put out, and it was just like all like not Riot Girl, but like female fronted hardcore bands, I guess. And it was the entire zine was just about like feminism and shit. It was sick.
That's awesome.
And it's
That's
just like
awesome.
history, Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but
More
yeah,
feminism comps with all female hardcore bands today. We need that.
we need that. Yeah, Bikini Kill was on that too, and that was before Bikini Kill got huge, which is kind of
Oh
sick.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh
it's kind of
shit.
tight. And Bikini Kill was like playing like Ivy and shit. It's sick. Anyways, here's another question. The top 5 records in your collection.
Oh
right.
shit. Okay, hold up. I got 3 of Colin's records here, so it's not fair. Um,
A couple of those might actually be in my what? Yeah, Blake's about to pull out some crazy shit.
I have this is Colin's, okay? This is Rockets and Blue Lights, a smash city with flames and music in the air. It listen to this. If you haven't listened to this, listen to it right now after this interview.
What's the band
That's
called?
Rockets and Blue.
Rockets and Blue?
Rockets and Blue Lights.
Blue Lights. That's tight. I'll have to check that out. That sounds sick.
Yep. I also just picked up, as Blake will show you, I set that one time I sat in a pile of chocolate by Snowing.
Oh, rad. That one's so good, dude.
That for some reason, our local record shop had that on their system. And I was like, do you have this record? And they're like, yeah, do you want us to pre-order it? I'm like, yes. And so they got me that. Let me think. I'd say I have my records right here, actually. I'd say, oh, this is another phenomenal one. I just grabbed this one maybe a couple months ago. TTNG's self-titled. This Town Needs Guns is probably one of my favorite bands, alongside Brave Little Abacus. Phenomenal guys.
I've actually never heard that band either. I'll have to check that one out too.
If you like, they're considered emo these days. Their early stuff definitely is. It's like screamo, hardcore, post-rocky emo.
Mm-hmm.
But now they kind of make like indie math rock. I still vibe with every era of TTNG. But I've always considered them a math rock band before a emo band. So if you're big into like twinkly math rock, that's got that really clean, really crisp guitar tone, highly check them out. I'd also say, because do have to give some death metal representation here. If I can find it. Infestors to the Depths and Degradation. One of the most disgusting, vile albums I've ever listened to in my entire life. This thing is actually like sonic filth. It's amazingly disgusting. It's horrible. It gives me chills every time I listen to it. It's just got evil vibes.
Yeah. That sounds tight.
Like fire. I also very much love Godspeed You, Black Emperor,
So
Lift Your
sick,
Skinny Fist Like Antennas to Heaven. Phenomenal post-rock masterpiece. Plus the vinyl itself is really cool, so I like that.
That's
I
awesome.
think it was like four records I've mentioned, and then I might as well mention my another death metal classic, Cryptopsy's None So Vile. Just brutal, absolutely fast-paced, brutal. The technical guitar work on it is incredibly tight. But even with the brutality of Lord Worm's vocals and the crazy tech death guitar, it's tech death, but it's not overly wanky. That's my biggest problem with like technical death metal these days. It's so wanky, and it doesn't really try to like riff hard, because that's why you're listening to metal. You bang your head and like listen to the kick-ass. Topsy was doing it in '96 without the pretentiousness, you could still bang your head and appreciate the technical work. But the drums on that thing, Flo Mornier is one of the greatest drummers of all time, because it sounds like a drum machine, but the drum machine is a human flesh pod that is just, I don't know, consumed too many amphetamines that it can just play these ridiculous songs without any problem whatsoever. I can't believe it. 10 out of 10 record. Those are probably my top fives.
That's Cryptopsy, you said?
Cryptopsy, yeah. Cryptopsy, None So Vile. Oh, we lost Blake again.
Rip.
I think he did something to his computer while he was going to show you his record collection.
I know. Should we wait for him?
While he's gone, then I guess some other good ones I have Death Heaven's Sunbather. That was an album that really shook the metal community, because it was like a pink album cover. And it's got a lot of shoegaze elements. It's got a lot of post-rock elements. I think it's a beautiful record. It's so lush. Just got a great sound to it. I also just picked up the Little Explorers double LP. They pressed both of their albums onto a two record release, and
I
I just grabbed that.
I actually saw you post that band and I checked them out and they're really good. That band's really good.
They're so good. Have you ever heard of Crash the Rhinos?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot of the members from Little Explorer eventually formed Crash of Rhinos.
Really?
And
That is so
yeah, it's
interesting.
like if it's basically, and it literally is Crash of Rhinos like screamo mathy little brother, because you can hear it. Their riffs are really really tight, and the screams on that are awesome. Love Crash of Rhinos though. I actually just grabbed that distal as well, but that is yet to come in, so I can't showcase it. Oh, I'm about to flex all these new purchases I made. I actually just got, we were speaking about the newfound interest a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I just bought, what's up, Blake? I just bought their LP released by We Are Busybodies. I just got that whole album on record, which is mind-blowing to me. Did not think I'd ever have that in my collection.
That's so sick, dude. I love hearing about your guys' top picks in your collection. Blake, did you have any more before we move on?
Okay, so do tapes count?
Yeah, dude, totally.
Okay. Number one, Boy's Life, Departures in
Classic,
Falls.
dude. Absolute classic.
Shout out to Colin for getting me this, because it's actually my favorite record in my collection. Not much needs to be said about this. Not much needs to be said about this. Listen to it. It perfectly encapsulates how it feels to live in the Midwest. This is the sound. This is what it sounds like. Another classic, Spiderland by
Slint,
Slint.
dude. Absolute classic. We have an original in the KCSB library. It's tight.
An original pressing.
Yeah, that
Send me the address. I might have to rob you.
Yeah, right. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys are into Duster too. We have an original copy of Valium Agaline at the station too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a Duster fan.
I'm huge into slowcore. I went through a big slowcore phase. I love Duster. Somebody got me this on tape, which was like the coolest gift ever.
That's a bootleg, huh, from that like Chilean label?
I guess so, because it took like 2 months to get here. Yeah, I guess so.
That's tight. Hell yeah.
Bootleg tapes are great. I have some from the Ukraine.
Oh, that's sick, dude. That's cool.
Okay, my third one. Some people might know this band, Old Problems. This is the Old Problems Discretions 7-inch split on Coke Bottle Clear vinyl. It's a pretty cool split.
That's rad as heck.
Yeah, and I would say Old Problems is, for how short-lived of a band they were. They're from another Texas emo band, screamo band actually, but their 2 songs on this 7-inch split are some of their best material. Like,
yeah,
definitely listen to this. It's awesome.
I've never heard of Old Problems before. That's cool. I'll have to check them out as
yeah,
well.
you should check them out. They're really cool. I actually named a calendar year song after that band. The song Old Problems is named after that band. Like, I just love the band.
That's
Blake
tight.
put me onto them, and they're pretty good. I love them.
That's sick. Where are they from again? You
band.
said Texas?
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas.
That's cool.
And then my last 2, the obligatory Your Arms Are My Cocoon.
I'm so jealous you have a copy of that.
Self-titled. I got the second pressing too, which was only out of 25, so it's the black, pink, and purple splatter.
Yeah.
I'm never forgetting him for not telling me about that, so I could cop one.
Yeah, this is this is awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
And the last one, I bet nobody knows this band except Colin, because I probably talked about this band countless times, but Cigarette Smoke Dead Songs EP.
I'll have to check them out too. Who are they?
They're an emo band with sort of reverby post-rock leanings. They have some screamo too. It's only 5 songs. They're a band from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Apparently there used to be a Southern Indiana, Kentucky like screamo emo scene,
Really?
but
That's kind of sick.
yeah, I
Well,
can.
that area's always kind of been good with the like underground music scenes, because Slint, Rodan, some other post rock bands were big in there and came out of there in the 90s.
Yeah.
They've always, Kentucky and Southern Indiana has always been with it.
Yeah.
Crazy guys.
And this, I cannot recommend this tape enough either. I was lucky enough to, when I bought this on Bandcamp, I guess it was from like 2013. You know, it's one of those Bandcamp pages where if you order something, you're not even guaranteed to get it because they might not even have updated the page since 2013.
Yeah.
But luckily, the guy who owned this record label, Elsewhere Records, he emailed me and he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, we have no, like, all the tapes are sold, but I do have one master tape left."
Oh wow, that's sick.
Yeah, so I ended up getting the master tape of Cigarette Smoke Dead songs, and that was really cool.
Dude, that's honestly really cool actually. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes it kind of like even more special, you know?
Yeah, those are my top 5 records in my collection.
That's amazing, dude.
We are collectively trying to build a good DIY collection.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like, it's good to get the popular records and what's awesome, like what's some top rated stuff. But I remember I was at my girlfriend's cousin's and I saw he had some records and I was flipping through them and I came across Fuck Your Emotional Bullshit by Snowing, their first EP, and I was just like the fact, like, coming across that from someone you'd never expect to. I think that's pretty cool. So I just think in the future I'm gonna have like my my grandkids' friends coming over my house looking through my records and be like, "Wow, you have Snowing on record?" I'm gonna be like, "What do you know about Snowing, little fella?"
Yeah. Little tyke.
It's gonna be funny. Funny to have a good collection like that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love collecting just like DIY stuff is the fact that, like, you know, like you were saying, it's like a snapshot in time too, you know? So it's like gonna be like a snapshot. Whoever finds this like collection, whatever, like 20 years from now, it's gonna be a snapshot to like then and like what I was doing and stuff, you know, like what I was listening
Yeah,
to.
you're exactly right.
Yeah. Anyways, so our last fan question, what's your favorite hot sauce?
This is a question for Blake. Someone knows Blake too.
I literally have a bottle right here. It's from South Carolina. If you ever go into Georgetown County, South Carolina, you're on, I think it's exit 23A.
Yeah.
It's this place called Abbott Farms. This is called Southern Possum Hot Sauce. I call it's possum sauce. Like, this shit is fire.
That's
if you're
so
ever
sick.
in South Carolina, stop at Abbott Farms and get a bottle of this because it's so good.
That's rad.
Blake's like a hot sauce connoisseur. I'm so basic. I don't eat many things with hot sauce. I'm more. It depends. If I'm eating Mexican Cholula, no question.
Oh yeah.
But otherwise, I'm usually just like Frank's Red Hot or not. I prefer. I'll take Frank's over Tabasco.
Dude,
me too.
I was like really big into Frank's for a while. I lived at a co-op with like, you know, 20 people or something like that, you know, a year or so ago. And we'd go through a lot of Franks because like when we would cook dinners and stuff, we would have to make it like a collective dinner for the entire house. You know, that's kind of just like what you do in a co-op. And anyways, if we would make anything with buffalo, we need a lot because that's like a ton of food. So we'd buy Franks by the gallon, dude. So we'd always just be like locked in with a gallon of Franks. And
that's tight. That's tight. You got always are strapped with the Franks.
Oh yeah, dude.
Literally take a straw to that.
Actually, you know what I think it was? Like, I think we would just buy a bunch of bottles, and then one day, like, I was assigned to be food shopper for like that quarter or something. So I was the one going to the grocery store and buying stuff, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna buy like 4 bottles of Franks. I'm just gonna buy a goddamn gallon, dude. So like, I roll up with a gallon, and they're just like, don't you think that's a little excessive? And I was like, no, I'll finish the whole gallon myself, dude. Like.
You said you were living in a co-op. Was that for college or what was that like?
Yeah, when I was in college, I lived in a co-op. It's really cool. You know, it's like collectively owned, like, you know, cooperative or whatever. It's sick. So, I guess like how it works is like when you buy in and you sign your lease, you own the property as well. Like everybody owns the property, like you own your specific room in the house. And
wow.
yeah, so like we had like a massive building that was like turned into a house and we had like 15 rooms or something like that. And we had like 5 houses in the system and like our co-op system. One co-op was like an apartment complex. So like there was a bunch of apartments and each person that like was on the lease for that apartment owned that apartment on the property, and you could just do anything to it. Like it was your house. You could do whatever. as long as like it was okay with the collective, you know.
That's
Um,
amazing. You can't find shit like that out in Indiana. You can have co-ops, but then you have a landlord. Like
yeah, exactly, and that's
shout
what
out, shout out to you guys for that collective ownership.
yeah, it's what was cool too is like the system's been in like Santa Barbara, that system, like Santa Barbara Student Housing Co-op or whatever, has been around since like the 70s or something like that. And it's like we would pay money to, like we had 3 staff, which like some may say is like kind of understaffed, but we would have one person that would handle leasing and like all that other stuff, like the business side of like owning a property. And
Mhm.
then another person handling like other, I guess, like businessy stuff, and then we had like a maintenance person who would just like also worked for some other properties but like would also help with ours. We'd pay them. And then we had like one central committee that would basically decide on everything, and the committee was like comprised of like a person from each house, and like we had a house rep, and then there was like obviously like appointed individuals. It was really sick. It's literally like the definition of a commune or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous right now listening to you talk about this because we need to bring that housing system to everywhere right
Yeah,
now.
it's really cool. I mean, I don't think it would be too hard to do, especially if you're in some place where it's cheap, like rural Texas. I mean, but it'd also be like rural Texas or something like that, where you could just buy a large property and then just, start laying some ground rules with a collective of people, and then it wouldn't be like too much. But yeah, dude, it's hard to start, I guess. Like nobody really knows how to do it, but when you can get into a system like that, it's really something special. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really cool. And I would do
Yeah,
anything to be
that's
able to live
capitalist
like that again.
education, I guess. Nobody knows how to operate within a
Yeah.
communal living
Yeah.
style.
So,
But
anyways, guys, so I have one more question before we head out here. Are you guys ready for it? It's kind of a big one.
oh yeah,
Are you sure?
hit us with it.
Okay. So a rat is going to jump into your mouth. Do you want this rat to jump into your mouth head first or butt first, and why?
I wasn't ready for it.
No, I was ready for this, and I still don't know how to answer it because, like, I've heard you ask other people this. Uh, I, I mean, I gotta say butt first. Come on.
Why?
I liked your take. I really liked your take where you said that you would like. Was that you that said you would tame it and then
Make
like
it,
ratatouille style, like where it would start cooking food or something?
yes, dude, the vegan option's the best one.
Yeah, the vegan option.
Nobody gets
Okay,
hurt.
that's dumb. I totally identify with that. Um, Someone else also said, I don't know if it was Tyler from Your Arms My Cocoon, but they said butt first, and then they would bite its tail and whip it around and like fling it.
Yeah, they would have a
Like,
flail. That was Tyler, I think, dude. That I
yeah,
forgot about that
that was
answer.
awesome.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm,
definitely butt first. If you say head first, there's something wrong with you.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Everybody, when they go head first, just instantly wants to clamp down.
I need a good like explanation for that.
that's crazy. I'd say butt first because yeah, if I'm about to fight this rat, I don't want to bite my tongue or nothing. Like butt first, and then I'll go brush my teeth.
Exactly, dude. Brush your teeth right after. Uh,
Uh,
that's good, guys. Well, anyways, do you guys where can people keep up with your projects and just your music and stuff in general?
we have a Instagram that's I'm pretty sure the handle is just Light Strung Like Stars. We have a Twitter account which is at Like Strung. We also are on Bandcamp. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. Um, we're on Amazon Music, but fuck Amazon.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on all the we're basically everywhere you could think to find us except MySpace and Facebook. So just hit us up on there. Give us a follow. If you ever have questions about us, I mean, we're always answering them. We love talking to the community. Just hit our DMs up. Put us on to some new music, whatever it is.
There it is.
We love this community.
Hit up Lights Strung Like Stars. Honestly, I feel like emo bands should make a comeback with MySpace. I feel like MySpace should be a thing again because like when you're an emo band and you have a MySpace, that's how you know you're emo as hell. And it'd be sick if people had a MySpace again.
Is it like a functioning website? Because whenever I go to old bands' MySpaces, it's like borderline broken. Like
Yeah.
they
No. So something that like MySpace stopped with the music streaming, but like I think, but like back in the day, like it used to be sort of centered around music. Like your band would have its page, and then it would have all their like you could play all their songs on there, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was for
But
sure centered around music. I think that also one thing that happened is like when MySpace was going through like a switch in ownership or something, they lost a ton of data. So there was just like all these pages that got completely wiped.
yeah,
So that might be
that
why
makes
you couldn't
sense.
find some
That
bands.
makes sense because I'll click on like a song from some dead band and it like nothing will happen. I'm like, does this
Yeah.
thing like nothing? Yeah, we need to reclaim MySpace because I just missed. I remember my friends from my neighborhood's older siblings going on MySpace, and I was like, what is that?
I
So
know,
I
same.
just missed that
Yeah.
culture, that cultural, that timepiece.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways,
well, thanks
guys.
for having us here, man. It's
Yeah.
been a great time.
Yeah,
Love talking about emo and everything like it.
thanks again, guys. That was a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody for tuning into TBD on KCSB FM 91.9 every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. and NetNet Radio out of Tijuana every Saturday, 4 p.m. This is Colin and Blake from Strung Like Stars out of Indiana. Thank you again for being on the show, guys. It was so much fun.
Thanks for having us.
thanks for having
Stay
us.
down.